Hey, welcome back, YouTube. Just wanted to show you a couple things I got going on here. Making some progress here. Did a few powder coating parts over the past few days. I got the cross member here for the steering. I did the whole steering shaft and just cleaned up a bunch of stuff, replaced a bunch of nuts and bolts. Motor mount here. This was really nasty looking. I wasn't horrible, but it was definitely due for a restore. And then a couple parts, couple pieces here. These are for the exhaust muffler. Here's another piece for the exhaust. Ends up going right here. So I did those. Just general cleaning. Like I said, replacing some bolts and stuff. Just straightened out these right here. I'm not sure if I showed you guys that, but either way, what's next though is I pulled the two bell cranks and cleaned under there. Sorry, two bell cranks cleaned under here, and then you know, all in this whole cavity here, a little bit more into there. Just basically use some it's this stuff called, what is it? It's not Simple Green, but it's from Menards. It's like, I don't know, something green. It's not Simple Green though. Great Green, I don't know. But anyways, I use that with a gray scrubby pad and just kind of cleaned up the grime that was on there. And the two bell cranks are right here, and it looks like Arctic Cat ended up upgrading from bushings to, I mean, there's still bushings to go on either side of these, but I have them in this, which is a new sandblaster for me, which I got for doing some mechanical work for a neighbor. They wanted a leveling kit put on their truck, so I did that for them, and they ended up giving me this. It's a Harbor Freight version of a sandblaster. It's got coarse grit bicarbonate of soda in there. So that's going to work out perfect. I can use that for all aluminum stuff. And I ended up using the fine grit, and it doesn't tell the actual grit. I thought it said 70, and then there's like 24, and then there's 12. And the 70 is the green bag, the 24 is the blue bag, and then the purple is the 12 grit down, which is what actually came with this. The guy that gave it to me said it was silica, and I didn't even excuse me, realize it until I actually looked and brought home the same bag thinking, okay, I got a bag of silica there. I went to Harbor Freight and I got a bag of, or was given a bag by them. I told them what I wanted. They gave me a bag, and I got home and I was like, oh my gosh, it's the same exact freaking bag. So I look in there, I'm like, I got silica. And so I look in there and I'm like, oh no, this is actually the coarse bicarbonate of soda. So I can take back that other bag, which is a good deal. So pretty happy about that. So I can do all my aluminum parts in here. And I have the rack itself, which connects the tie rods, and the bell cranks each attach to a spot on that right there. And that actually has two, you can barely see one of the holes right there, and then the other one's right here. So the bell crank attaches to that, and it itself has bearings in there as well. So I'm going to say if I can clean the bearings up, because they're kind of stiff. See if I got some of them soaking in PB Blaster right now, so I'm going to see if that'll work. And but meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and hit these. I started to hit these, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make a video and just show you guys the difference here. And this, what I have in here is actually pool filter sand. I mean, it was $10 for a bag, for like a 50-pound bag, so I said, screw it, I'm getting a whole bag. You know, actually, I think I got 2 bags of it. So that stuff really does well. I designed this pickup tube to have a lot better flow. I actually got it off of YouTube. It's this YouTuber, his channel is How to Motorcycle Repair. Check his YouTube channel out. It's pretty good. He's got a lot of stuff. And this is where I got the idea for that right here. And you do have to move it around. You know, you just have to move it from section to section because unfortunately this design of sandblaster doesn't really allow for good movement of the blasting material. So I don't know, that guy's channel over there at How to Motorcycle Repair, he recommended, I believe it was him, he recommended getting like a motor that's got a weight on it that vibrates. It's specifically for these, and it's, you know, once you turn whatever on, you know, I could hook it up to this light that I installed, which I also got from him. That was another idea. It had one inside, but it was just destroyed, so I ended up putting one of these on there. I planned to put one on this side as well to give me more light, but I think I'm going to use it on this one because right now I'm just going to use that. There's no light in there. So yeah, that's really what the way that I'm going to go. I'm just going to stick with the way it's set up now, and I may end up getting that motor with the vibration movement to help with that. But I mean, it's not really, that's something that's more of a luxury item at this point as far as I'm concerned for me and my journey. So sorry if you guys can hear the leaf blower. It's my neighbor. He's on his roof blowing his leaves out of his gutter, which, good idea. But so yeah, so it really just boils down to, you know, just blasting these and making sure you got good flow and that there's enough sand down there to you know, blast on a regular basis. Looks like there's a tube down in there as well that's shifted. So, but I'm gonna end up taking these bearings out too. I just figured I'd leave them in there for the time being, and then once I go to bake these, I'll pop them out. Probably gonna have to sandblast the inside of those as well. So either way, I'm gonna clean these up, and I'll come back and show you what they look like before I bake them and powder coat them. I also have the jack shaft, which is good news. I got the jack shaft. Can't really see it very well. There it is. So the jack shaft had the secondary clutch stuck on it big time, and I really had to pound that thing out, and it did. My buddy John Goki Jr., he gave me a real good recommendation to sit on the workbench and pound it out that way with a socket, and the clutch that was on there wouldn't, you know, get any damage to it because your thighs are absorbing the blast, but it's still getting a good amount of pressure to pop that thing out. So what I ended up doing was I just wrapped a piece of fuel line around it like that, and then stuck the ends in there, and then just had it sitting on there, and then heated it up. I hit it with some PB Blaster overnight, and then when I went to go pound it out, I heated it up again, and then once it got past like about a 1/4 inch being out, it slipped out real. It was pounding out real easy after that. So I got that out, and unfortunately when I got it out, I was so excited that it started moving. Stupid me, I ended up smacking the freaking spring retainer plate. And so, yep, gotta get a new one of those. But I got one on the way today, so like $15 from West Michigan Snowmobile. Again, Keith and Eric Loudermilk at West Michigan Snowmobile Parts. He is in right around Hart, Michigan. So $15 for that, and that'll be all good to go. But I think I'm going to take this apart as well and hit this in the blaster and clean this thing up. See how that does, because it doesn't really take anything off. It's, you know, bicarbonate of soda, so it's real light blasting. It's not like sand. Pretty. So, but yeah, it does real good with aluminum. So, but it's off. That's all I care about. And the engine is here. I have all the parts. I just got the cylinder from West Michigan Snowmobile on Friday. So that will be next. But I want to get all this stuff cleaned up. I mean, like I said, I'm in here. I may as well clean it up. So, yep, slow and steady. It was my birthday on Saturday, so I figured just kind of take a day off or so. And it was rainy, and so I just kind of spent time with the family, hung outside. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and sandblast those parts, and I will be back to show you what they look like.